Good evening, YouTube. You guys are now watching another segment of the Cali Effect. Today, we're going to be going over Mikhail Martinez's Masked Hero deck profile that went undefeated at Game Repair. For the people that are skeptical of this build, you guys can obviously go to it's going to be a box at the end of this video, like me saying videos that you can watch, and that's going to be Mikhail Martinez piloting this deck to beat Cosmo, one of the best decks of the format. But enough with all that, we're going to go down into the deck profile. There's going to be 3 copies of Tratrix Mirmello, 3 copies of Shadow Mist, 2 copies of Summoner Monk, and 2 Bubble Man. That's going to sum up the monsters at 10. For spells, we're going to go for 3 copies of Instant Fusion, 3 A Hero Lives, 1 Raikaki, 3 Upstart Goblin, 1 Mass Charge, 3 MST, 3 Mass Change, and 2 Forbidden Lance. That's going to sum up the spells at about 19. For traps, there's 2 Time Space Trap Hole, 1 Bottomless, 2 Mirror Force, 2 Breakthrough Skill, 1 Vanity's Emptiness, and 2 Oasis of Dragon Souls. Lastly is the Solemn Warning. That's going to sum up the traps and the main deck at 11 and 40 respectively. As for the extra deck, there's 15 cards. Obviously, you don't want to play anything less. 1 Anki, 1 Acid, 2 Danclaw, 2 Norden, 1 Satellar, Constellar, Diamond, Durandal, Karen Gorgon, Excalibur, Castell, Gagaga Samurai, Diaguso Emerald, Dweller, and Timaeus. That's going to sum up the Fusion Exceed ratio at 6 to 9. As for side deck, here's where things get a little interesting. Cyber Dragon, Prisma, Eccentric, Archfiend, 2 copies of Maxi, Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon, 3 copies of Wavering Guys, Trap Stun, 3 copies of Imperial Iron Wall, and 2 Great Horn of Heaven. Now, there's a couple of notes that he wants you guys to know before I actually go and delve into the deck. The first thing is that he doesn't run Reinforcement of the Army, as you guys already know. You guys are like, where's Reinforcement of the Army? And it makes sense. He has 2 copies of Summoner Monks in the main board, and he has 3 copies of A Hero Lives. You don't want to draw Shadow Mist. You always want to special summon it, mainly because when you draw Shadow Mist, there's no way to special summon it like Goblinenberg from your hand to your side of the field, and 10 Goldfish isn't searchable. So he just cut that all out in total, and just went with the Hero Lives Summoner Monks way, just to special summon Shadow Mist to be able to gain his ability to act Mass Change from his deck to his hand. He also says Mirmello is also a great cause of the strength to Bottomless because of Bottomless and Time Space Trap Hole. Opening a Hero Lives plus Mirmello is basically Dark Law with protection, so it's a good game. I could see that, and there was a couple of games where I did see him play that weren't on camera, that he summoned Dark Law and added, you know, Time Space or Bottomless Trap Hole, and it's really rough for any deck to get over it, just because Dark Law is 2400 attack, and then he has the Mirmello, which means he has the trap card that basically stops their summon, and then he'll just keep on plowing from there, and it's not really much else that the opponent can do. Paying half your life points doesn't really mean much when you're setting up and winning the game. He also says the Durandal plus Dark Law is a really, really good combo. I can vouch for that, mainly because I can say cards like Raigeki, people that still do play Dark Hole, Durandal basically just completely stops right in the tracks. There's a couple of the spells that I can't think of off the top of my head that Durandal completely stops in the tracks that would essentially protect Dark Law from being destroyed. And, you know, basically you just have 2 2200 beaters in a walking macro cosmos. Your opponent really can't do much from there. And I think the last thing is, he once had 2 Dark Law, then activated Durandal's effect to banish 2 from their hand. That is just nasty. Oh, okay, I see. Because Durandal's effect shuffles from hand, and then they add from their hand, and then Dark Law's effect activates. Never mind, that's probably even a better way to use Durandal. I can see why Durandal is just so good in here. Namely, just like I said before, if you have Durandal on the field, and at least 1 copy of Dark Law, you activate its effect, both players shuffle their deck, or shuffle their hands into the deck, and then draw the same amount of cards. But because their opponent draws outside of the draw phase, you get the banish 1 card. You get the banish 1 card from their hand. So that's really, really, really sneaky. My favorite part of this deck would definitely have to be Elemental Hero Prisma in the Cyber Dragon. We did see him play in 1 game. I didn't know the quantities of how many he played, but he really went summoned Elemental Hero Prisma, turned it into a Cyber Dragon by sending Cyber Dragon to the deck, or from the deck to the graveyard, and then made a Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. That was a game-breaking play right there, because it got over the opponent's Cosmo cards, as well as putting a monster on his side of the board and forcing the Cosmo player to go into defensive, while also preventing the Cosmo player from using his ship because it wasn't destroyed. It was just sent to the graveyard as a result of the fusion. That was really, really cool. It was amazing just to see something like that. Another thing I wanted to point out, one thing that he actually didn't like, he said Forbidden Lance and Breakthrough Skill are like his 4 worst cards. He said Breakthrough Skill is okay against Pepe, He really didn't like it. It was okay. And Forbidden Lance was just, I don't think I want to use this term. I don't think I want to use the term awful, because it doesn't say awful on here. So I'm not going to say awful, but it doesn't really seem that great. Also, another interesting thing is that he ran 3 copies of Mystical Space Typhoons, which, I mean, I can see Mystical Space Typhoons on the up and up, just because Pendulum cards are a thing. And if you don't want to main board Wavering guys, because he obviously doesn't play Pendulum cards, then Mystical Space Typhoon is not only a good substitute, because not only does it stop one of the scales, it also allows you to get through back row, you know, which is important. So it's kind of like I'm not technically fully committed to, you know, playing against Pendulums, and even though Mystical Space Typhoon isn't always that great against Pendulum decks, sometimes it actually gets there, and then it's also just a great versatile card against normal back row. I really liked this deck. It was amazing to see him play it. I don't think there's any other questions that I have. If you guys have any other questions, you can post them down below, and I'll ask him, and he'll probably get to me as soon as possible. I'll probably come up to him with a list and then answer you guys on the comments accordingly. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is the Cali Effect, over and out. Hey guys, I don't know about you, but if I were you and I bought cards online, I would be clicking down on the link down below in the description. That's going to take you to the cheapest cards online. That's right, TheCaliEffectX is selling the cheapest cards online. So definitely go down and click on that link, check out those cards, and then buy some from TheCaliEffectX. Please follow the rules in the description. Consequently, you guys can also watch that Mikhail Martinez Cosmo versus Mask Hero deck that I said I was talking about on the right side. That is an amazing game with me doing commentary. If you guys want to see just a flufful matchup, that's also on the left side of the video. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching another segment of the Cali Effect. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy.